Hey, this is Dr. J. Today I wanted to share with you guys 3 exercises to help with TMJ or temporomandibular dysfunction. This is something that I actually had in my own life where I got constant clicking. My jaw would even lock open. And a lot of times I would have a lot of pain with eating and even talking for long periods of time. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you have ever struggled with TMJ, stay tuned and we'll get started soon. First of all, let's talk about what is TMJ. Temporomandibular dysfunction is where we have dysfunction of the jaw, which is the mandible, and it attaches into your temporal bone. So we have our bone here right below our mastoid process, or right below kind of the lobes of our ears, where we have our jaw that basically unlocks and actually opens, or what we call depression. And there's also a little bit of protrusion. So protrusion and opening is oftentimes where some people may have dysfunction, or if you notice that the jaw opens, sometimes you'll notice that the TMJ, as you open the jaw, it doesn't open directly straight. A lot of times you'll start to see a slight shift. And depending on the shift, a lot of times you'll notice that either the TMJ is it's either hypermobile on either the right or the left side, or either there may be some hypomobility where there is some stiffness. Very often, I would say in most cases, let's say if I eat a lot on the right side, if I grind on the right side at night, or if I preferably choose to chew on that right side, a lot of the muscles will start to get tighter on that right side. Then also that's stressing out the joint. So imagine if I just like grabbed everything with my right hand, never used my left, my thumb, my hinge joint, that might also start to feel uncomfortable. So when we preferably start to chew on one side, that can be a part of dysfunction. So then you'll start to notice that as the jaw opens, it may open like this. As you can see, I'm trying to make a C curve this direction, where as I'm opening, some of the tightness around the muscles as well as the joint oftentimes will unlock in that way. So one of the first exercises I want to show to you is how to kind of correct for that dysfunction. So very simply enough, if I had tightness on the right side or pain on the right side, I want to shift my jaw to the left and encourage it to the left as I'm opening my jaw. So watch how I do this. I'm going to first get my body in a proper position. I don't want to be slumped. Slumps can oftentimes just immediately put some stress on the TMJ. So I'm going to keep my chin tucked, lift my chest up, and as I open up my jaw, as you can see, I'm shifting it to the left because I want to stretch it as I'm opening it out. So I'm going to do this again. Okay, and that is what we call a mobilization with movement, where we're encouraging a slight shift in the joint and the kinematics of how that specific joint would move by altering it with some sort of external load. Now, whether that's with a band or with your own hand, this is one of the first exercises I choose, especially if you have more pain on specifically one side or the other. So let's get into our second exercise. Second exercise is called resisted opening. The reason why we would want to encourage resisting the opening muscles is because out of the 4 large muscles of mastication, which attach directly to our TMJ joint, 3 of them dominate, and those are our closing muscles. And when you think about evolution, is that evolutionary speaking, we need to eat food. So God, whoever else, decided to give us much stronger closing muscles than we do opening. And some of those closing muscles attach directly into our cheeks. So some people will start to have some cheek pain. A lot of times people will start to have pain around the head because one of the larger closing muscles is called our temporalis. Have you ever had pain on either one side above your ear or even on both sides, that can be contributing to excessive grinding, excessive talking, but also excessive eating as well. So if we resist the opening muscles, what that will do to the other 3 muscles, because one of them, it dominates in terms of opening, but 3 of them are closing, is that we do something called reciprocal inhibition. When we will open our muscles against resistance, that automatically will encourage some of the closing muscles to relax or even be inhibited, and that can be very relieving for people that have TMJ. So what I like to do is either put my hand here, or sometimes I'll just use a fist. I'll show you from a side view. And what I'm going to do again is I'm going to chin tuck, and I want to open. I like to keep my lips closed, but also keep my teeth. If you look at my teeth, I don't want to close them down because that's encouraging the grinding. I'm going to keep a freeway space in between my teeth. So you want a little bit of space. So like this. You'll see that little bit of freeway space. I keep my lips closed, but keep my teeth open. So again, chin tuck. I'm going to open my jaw against the resistance, so put some slight pressure up, and my jaw is going to resist by pushing down into the fist. Okay, so usually I would like to do those anywhere between 10 to 20 reps consistently. Ways to progress that is you will just put more upward pressure into your jaw, so that's going to increase the resistance against the opening muscles. Or another thing you could do is also just simply increase the reps, increase the volume, just like you would with any exercise. You know, for example, 20 squats is more volume than 8 squats, for example. So that's how you'll progress this exercise. And I really hope that's going to help release some pain. Let's get into our third exercise. This last and final exercise, what I call is called chin tuck with suboccipital decompression. So chin tucks very often is you want to push into that position where we bring our chin over our Adam's apple. And what that does, it helps kind of realign or put our jaw in a better position in order to eat, chew, talk as well. Okay, so very often when we're pushing our head forward, that is kind of creating some mechanical dysfunction in the jaw. So with the chin tuck is I'm going to, one, apply overpressure with this side of my thumb. So I'm going to put that right underneath my nose. I usually don't want to put it directly on the jaw because again, that's where, again, we can have some dysfunction in the jaw and we don't want to be pushing. We want to encourage better cervical as well as thoracic mobility, as well as positioning to help with our jaw to move better. Okay, we don't want to push directly into our jaw. At the same time, with this hand, I'm going to put it on the back of my head and be pulling my head up towards the ceiling. So thinking about almost decompressing my head. That will ensure that I'm actually stretching some of the muscles in the back, which are called our suboccipitals, which oftentimes can get very tense. However, if you are noticing with this third exercise that, let's say, it doesn't feel good to like stretch out the suboccipitals, you can simply just put the chin tuck with overpressure without the suboccipital decompression. Okay, so this is exactly how it looks. With this hand here, put it underneath my nose. This hand, I'm going to put it underneath my occiput. So as I go into that position, I'm going to chin tuck. I'm going to push backwards with this hand while also lifting with this right hand. Okay, and so what I noticed there is I usually get a pretty good stretch in the suboccipitals. Usually a lot of times when you have jaw pain, a lot of times you can start to notice some of the muscles relax in the jaw as well. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you found these 3 exercises helpful for TMJ relief, let me know in the comments. Let me know which ones you're going to use. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. I am doing my best to share this information with many people that are trying to either relieve pain, get stronger, feel better on a daily basis. So you would be a great part, a huge contributor to helping me get to at least 5,000 subscribers and to have more impact on the world. So I'll see you on the next one and have a good rest of your day.